All right, guys. Tonight I want to discuss the concept of balancing family and work life and not feeling guilty. So, we all have families and others in our lives that we need to be there for. And it can seem like everything's competing for your attention, and making one a priority over the other can seem like a difficult task. And sometimes it can feel like we're being pulled in so many different directions and often wondering if what we're doing is right. And taking time from family and friends to run this business may seem difficult because now you're being pulled in yet another direction. But guys, we need to stop feeling guilty for spending time on our business. We really do. It's super important to us, right? Like, doing this is really important to us. It makes us feel good. So why are we feeling guilty all the time? So this has been something that's been weighing on my mind and something that I've been trying to work on myself. So that's why I figured this was a really good topic to speak to tonight. So here's a couple of tips that I picked up along the way between our upline coaches and in personal development books that I've been reading. So when we're with our family and our friends, be with them. Turn off our notifications on our phones, put our phones away, put them across the room. Just be present in those moments and enjoy that time. And when we're working on our business, work on it. Go into another room. If you're home, shut the door, say, I'll be back in an hour. Leave the house if you have to. Go to like your local cafe or the library. I go to the library pretty often. And just concentrate and focus during that time. Commit to be present, whether you're at home with your family or at the office. And our office is wherever we choose it to be. Instead of looking at the choices you're making as sacrifices, look at them as investments in yourself, your business, and your family. Stop thinking a 9-to-5 job and think about the 24 hours that you have to sleep, work, and be with your family. What I do and what I find super helpful is I keep a running to-do list. Whenever something pops into my head, like I have to do this, I make a reminder in my phone. I use the Reminders app. I have an iPhone, and there's a Reminders app. And in that Reminders app, you can jot down notes that you have to do. You can set a specific date or a specific time that you want that reminder to go off, and I find it really helpful. And this way, when I'm sitting down at the library or if I'm in a quiet room, I have this list to go by, and I focus on it, and I turn all of my notifications off, and I get all those messages out that I have to get out prior to going back and forth with someone that responded right away. Because when you're focusing on that to-do list and you're checking things off, it feels so much more. You feel so much more accomplished when you power through your to-do list rather than working on one thing, like maybe inviting and you're sending messages out and somebody's responding back, and then you start chatting with them, and before you know it, a half hour went by that you could have spent getting further through your to-do list. And when you feel more accomplished, when you get through your to-do list, you won't have that heavy weight on your mind, like in the back of your head saying, I have so much to do, but now my time is up. So focus when you are working and break through that to-do list that you have. And we also need to stop feeling guilty if those parts of our lives mesh on some days. It's going to happen some days, like you can't help it sometimes. So it's okay if you're working and your family's present. After all, we are going after our dreams. Like we're going after a dream to create a life where we can make a full-time income to be a stay-at-home parent and be able to support our families and possibly down the line, maybe retire our spouses like our awesome upline coaches have done. So going after our dreams is showing our spouses, our kids, our future kids that it's great to go after something that you want. It shows courage. It shows discipline, desire, and self-respect, and those are great characteristics to display to them. You want them to know that it's okay to go after their dreams, right? So be that example, set that example, and be confident about it. I didn't have anyone in my life to set that example for me, and I don't mean to come off negative at all, but that's kind of how I felt when I was growing up, that I just didn't have, well, not when I was growing up, but when I was an adult, I just felt like I didn't have anyone setting that example for me. And I think my mom, and again, not to be mean, but I think my mom wanted me to be a school secretary because that's what she did her whole life. So I didn't have that drive to do anything. And now I feel like I have that drive and I have that purpose. And I want to set that example for my son and be successful for him. So I'm going to end it with this. I know this was like super short tonight, but guilt it's bad stuff, man. It is a negative emotion. And think about how much negativity that guilt can bring into your life. And just imagine how much more time we would get back if we stop feeling guilty. You are one person living one big life. Why demand on yourself that you live these two separate lives? Rather than feeling guilty about a lack of balance, commit to start feeling great about your work accomplishments each day and then share them with your family. Because life is way too short to spend it helping somebody else live their dream. Your life is worth it. Your time is worth it. You're worth every second that you put into something that you love. Because going after those dreams of yours adds a whole new level of fulfillment and satisfaction, right? Like, how good does it feel to know when you've accomplished something? It feels amazing, right? Like you could do a little happy dance. I mean, you're going to enjoy that excitement and the adrenaline that comes with doing something that you've always wanted to do. So crush your goals, you guys. I'm going to open it up for discussion